I'm going to just set it to 0. So that I don't have to fill any other information. So the product is filled. So the way that the products are managed in the Eventyay system is by quotas. So quotas will let you fix the availability of products. So say for example, if you have a limited availability, you can set it up in quotas. So I will start by creating a new quota. Let's just call it a regular one, and let me give a total capacity of 100, and let me select all the products that is going to come under this quota. So right now I only have one product, and save. Okay, so now I have set up a product. Now to create a badge for this product, we have to enable the badge plugin. To do that, we'll be going into settings, plugins, and the badge plugin will be there. We just have to enable the plugin. Okay, so we will have the settings to the badge plugins. So the badge plugin has like 5 inbuilt design and templates. Each one is very unique. Each one has its like own particular kind of information available. Like this comes up with the background design and everything. But the default one is a very simple one. It is a plain black background with the company and the job title and the check-in queue. So right now I'll just leave it to default. And to use these badges, we are going to use the check-in application later on. But right now I'll also set up the exhibitors. So for exhibitors, we have to go into plugins and enable exhibitors. So I want to mention that since it is a local system, exhibitors is not a default plugin. It is a separate plugin which is in a different repository. So if I go to exhibitors, which is Eventyay-Tickets exhibitors. So this is a separate repository that needs to be cloned and set up separately. So so once you set up your ticket server, you can just clone this in the same directory or a different directory and run these commands below. To follow these commands below, you just need a pip installation. It will make it a Python plugin for the Django environment, and it will set it up automatically. So yeah, I also have done that. So once you do this, your exhibitors plugin will be available. If you don't do that, it won't be available. So let me enable the exhibitors plugin as well. So in exhibitors, I can add and manage exhibitors. I already have added a few exhibitors. Let us create a new one. Let's call it workshop. So I'm typing in one ad, something. We give it a contact mail. We can set up a logo. We can give it a URL and everything. So, and like we can also assign them specific booths. So if we have to give them a booth name, anything, booth like something. And we can assign a booth ID. If you do not assign a booth ID, an automatically generated booth ID will be assigned. So it is an optional field, but you can still like prefer to fill it in. And these are some of the important settings that grants access to the exhibitors to the user data. So we have to make sure that they have the permission to do lead scanning, because that's when they can use the key to actually scan your badges. And once scanned, they must also be given permission to access the data later whenever required. And this is a lead scanning behavior. So basically, when there are like multiple exhibitors, we need to make sure that every lead or like every attendee is unique to each exhibitor, and not every exhibitor is common to not every attendee is common to every exhibitor. To ensure that, we can either select every attendee is one lead, or if you want, like, even the same exhibitor, if they have 4 different devices, each device can have a different attendee name, you can select the second option, but the first one is more comfortable. So we save it. Okay, I think it is saved. Oh, sorry. Okay, yeah, it is not getting saved. I think there's some problem, but okay, right now we'll just use one of the exhibitors here. So this is the setup in this Eventyay-Ticket side for badge plugin and the exhibitors. So to use this, we will be needing the check-in application for check-in application, which is in a separate project. So the check-in application can be found in Eventyay-Checkin. So it is a Vue.js app built to use with the Eventyay application to enable check-in. So all the check-in, all the badge generation for this event is done with this product. So it can be accessed in access.eventyay.com. And one of the main things while setting up the check-in application is making sure that the Eventyay setup has proper course policies to work with this. So these course policies mainly include access to credentials. So let me just open something real quick. Okay, so these are the essential course policies that needs to be given permission in order to work. This includes giving permission to a special header called exhibitors. This is for the working of the exhibitor plugin, and we must also give access to allow origin rejects and allow cross course allowed origins. So I think there's like one more policy that we need to give permission to. Yeah. So one of the main permissions that will be required is allow credentials, because all the badge that is generated in the Eventyay system will be sent as a PDF to the check-in system. So in order for the PDF to work and get rendered in the check-in system, this is one of the very important course policies that is needed to be set up, because without this policy, many new browsers will prevent it by default. It is a security feature, especially to prevent cross-site scripting and stuff. So this permission needs to be exclusively set up in order for the check-in application to generate and print the badges. So okay, so I also have a local setup for the check-in application. So let me go there. Let me start. It is a very simple npm product, so you can install and like run npm install and you must be good to go. And now I'm just going to do a npm run dev, which will start the server for the application. So yeah, so once this is done, I can access it again in my localhost. So this is the check-in application. So basically it has three different roles. Check-in and lead scan. So yeah, it has three different roles. It has the exhibitor role, the check-in staff, and the badge station role. So the exhibitor is for the exhibitors, and check-in staff is the manual process to check-in, and badge station is an automated procedure. We'll go to that later, but right now let us first set up the check-in staff. So I will move back here. So the servers. So there is like three options to select. One is open event, Eventyay, and testing. Open event is for the older version of Eventyay and like other systems like Eventpop and Eventbrite, from which tickets can be imported and used along with this system. That is open event. But the newer system is Eventyay, so we can select Eventyay, and I'm a check-in staff. So to make sure that the access to your data is very secure, there is a step where the device first needs to be authenticated. So let's say I'm a check-in staff. So first we need to scan a QR to register the device. So how to create this QR? So in the Eventyay system, these devices are common for the organizers. So let's go to organizer. Oh, sorry, I'm in the wrong system. Yeah. So let's go to the organizers. This is the new organizer that I created for Steam, and here we can see devices. So let me connect a device. I will choose the permission to the event, and let me just type in a name. Device one. Yeah. Okay. So this I have given the permission for one event, and I'll just save this device. So we have this QR code. Usually it is done with the phone, but since there is no option to share my phone screen, I'm just going to use the desktop version. So let me just take a picture of this QR code and Yeah. So since if it's in phone, you generally just scan this QR code and do it. Since I'm using desktop, it's kind of a complicated process, but yeah. Okay, Eventyay, I'm checking stuff, turn on camera, and yep. So once the device is registered, you get access to the event. But we can just select and move on, but we don't have any tickets to perform the check-in action. So first we'll make sure that we have a ticket to do the same. So going back to my event, I can, since it is in test mode, I can create a test ticket. So I can go to view event, I have a ticket, I'll just add to cart, check out, just like give basic information. 1 second. Yep. So submit registration. This is a local error. The ticket would have been booked by now. Yeah, the product has been successfully added. So if we go back to the back end, we must be able to see the order. Yeah. So we have created the order right now, and let me just 1 second. Take the ticket to my phone in one way. Yep. Okay. So moving back to the check-in application, I will click the event that I want to perform check-in. And as I said, this is for the manual procedure. Let me take the QR code in my phone of the ticket. So I have the ticket in my phone. So I'm just going to scan it. So it says check-in successful. I have the option to generate the badge. So once it is generated, it usually takes time. So I can click print. So now I see the preview. I can choose the printer information that I want, the size I want, fit to printable area, and right now I have this printer. So I can set up all the information that I want of the printer. I can set it up manually and hit print. And oh, sorry, I did not connect the printer. 1 second. Yep. Yes. Okay, I can click print again. Let me, sorry. So it is a custom size because it's a label maker. I have it saved here. So fit to paper, and I can just continue to print. So yeah, so the ticket is getting printed. So this is one way to perform the check-in action. So let me just take the ticket out. I later use this ticket to perform the lead scanning action, as I mentioned. So okay, to now let me set up how it is done for the exhibitors. So for the exhibitors, we have a different role. So we need to let's start the process again from the beginning of like setting up a device specific for the exhibitors. So let me just log out of this. Let me create a new device for the exhibitor so that like it doesn't get confused. So back to organizers. The FOSS team devices. So let me create an exhibitor device. Okay, exhibitor. I give them the permission, save it. It's the same procedure for setting up the device, setting up a new device. You scan an authentication QR code that registers the device to the system. So Eventyay, I am an exhibitor. Turn on camera, and you scan this QR code. Yeah, so now the exhibitor is selected. But one of the next features is exhibitors are the people who are going to access your data. So they have another step of authentication where they are required to enter an authentication token generated for them. So once we set up an exhibitor in the event that we have created, they will have an exhibitor key. So we can download this key, save it, and so this key will be shared with the exhibitors in order to access the lead scanning page. So we can paste the key here. Yep. Authenticate. So now the exhibitor is authenticated. We have all the booth and everything set up. So this is the badge that we generated. So this QR code will be used by the exhibitors to perform the lead scanning action. So we can turn on the camera and like, okay, this is not scanned. Oh wait, sorry, I'm like holding it down. Yeah, so it is scanned and we get the data, like the person who bought the ticket. So the exhibitors also have permission to add tags to the ticket. We can add tags like anything, like they usually get the organization info, but we can add tags and like we can take notes. And we can save them, and at the end of the day, after the event, or like whenever they want to export all these data, they can download the lead data that they have scanned, and they will get a CSV file of all the leads that they have scanned. Yeah, so this CSV will include all the information that you have given permission for them to access and to work with. So these are all this also includes some of the leads that I have previously scanned with this exhibitor. So that is how the exhibitor situation works. Now to the most important feature, the badge print station. So the badge print station is an automated procedure of checking in attendees. So the badge print station will only work in Chrome, because Chrome has the kiosk printing feature that other browsers does not support. So to do that, ensure that you have the latest version of Chrome first, and to open the badge print station, you have to go to the terminal in a Mac, and in Windows it is the same command with the same argument. So open Google Chrome and you have to pass in kiosk printing. So this will ensure that the print window is automatically triggered in each time the print window is open. So I open it up. Let me just move it to a different screen. Okay, so let me go to localhost. Yeah. So same Eventyay. I will say badge print station. The registering the device is again the same procedure for all the roles. So organizer, host team, okay, devices. Let me create a silent printing station. So okay, yeah, FOSSCON, save. So now once the badge print station is set up, you can, yeah, FOSSCON, select event. Yeah, so here in the check-in process, before it was manual. You go scan the QR code, you have to click generate the badge and then click print to print the badge. But with the badge station, which is like currently set up for the event outside near the registration desk, you just go, you scan a QR code, and it will automatically generate a badge. You don't have to do anything. So and it automatically prints the badge as well. So yeah, so that is the automated workflow of the badge station workflow. So now there is like a lot of things that has working in the background. So each time you scan, the attendee is marked as check-in in the event. So all the events has a check-in list. So you can go there and like you can see that the attendee is like marked as checked in each time you scan a QR code. And the basic, essentially there were many doubts as to what data is within this QR code. Can anyone scan this QR code and access the data? Well, the short answer is no, they cannot access the data, because the QR code essentially has the ticket ID in it. I can probably show you a format of how it is, and yeah. So this is okay. So this is what is contained in this QR code. It has the event name, the ticket ID, and the lead ID. So when you scan this QR code, you just get a JSON of this data, which if you have access to, will go to the Eventyay system, and from there you can get access to all the necessary information. And it will get stored if you're an exhibitor or like perform scanning and everything. So this system is built for the new Eventyay system, but it can also be set up for the old Eventyay system, or like any other systems like even Pop or even Bright, as we set up for this system. For that, we will usually go to orders, and there's an option to import orders. So if you have a CSV from any other platforms, you can click on the CSV, you can open it, and you can like start importing the CSV. So this is one of the CSVs from another platform. So while importing the CSV, you also have to ensure that the products match the product that you have created. So this CSV has products like day passes, so you have to make sure that these products exist in order to import it into the system. But right now these products does not exist, so it will throw me an error when I try to import. And you have all the fields that are available in this CSV column, so you can match them with the proper column you want to import it from. And once you perform import, all the orders will be imported there. So this is how the entire system is like working together, and how the system can be set up. So if you have any doubts on like setting up the system and like how to access it, how to set up the silent printing feature, because in some devices, especially Windows devices, Chrome requires to go into the settings and like giving some permissions to enable the silent printing. So if you have any doubts regarding that, you can feel free to ask me. So that's it. Thank you.
Okay. Do we have any questions from the audience? Okay.
So it seems like there's a lot of stuff here to learn for someone that is running an event. Is there documentation on how the process should be done on the event management side?
Yes, there is dedicated documentation in the repository of Checkin. So if you go to Checkin, we have a separate folder called documentation. So there we have the necessary documentation required to set up the Checkin workflow to like manually print. This also includes the badge station workflow, and the exhibitors includes all the necessary setup required to set up the exhibitors and follow this workflow.
Yeah, nice. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any more questions?
Okay.
The way I understand the talk is basically you build an interface for people to make the event right.
Yeah.
I imagine technical organizers might like it not to do ClickUps, but do like event as a service, like event in code. Are you planning to do like something, a Terraform provider for making a conference?
Sorry, I did
Does
not
it,
get the question.
it doesn't make sense. So instead of clicking around making your event, saying this are the products and the options you have to purchase, would you make it possible to describe this in a Terraform or different kind of infrastructure as code provider? It's more for fun, or like maybe a bit.
So to answer this, it's one part of the Eventyay system. I just had a workshop before how to set up the system. It's not easy. We are working in a direction to make deployments much more easy. That I mean, I haven't. Terraform is far away. I would be happy. Our current deployment, main deployment, is already a Docker Compose. It's all in one. So there's already better, but there's a lot of configuration that is necessary. It's not trivial. That will be figured out. This is a plugin, an extension that just makes it easy that the organizers don't have to do a lot of work on the spot. Like the idea was here that the user can print their own badge easily. They can check in, the exhibitors can do this. These are things that is depending from conference to conference. Yeah, so as a Terraform deployment, I think you still have a lot of setup to do. I mean, a conference needs a bit more than.
But it's a one-time thing. Like I could do it in 2024 and then like next year.
Yeah.
2025.
Yeah, yeah. That is something that's probably working.